What's the smartest way you tested which family members actually loved you? When my grandma died last year, I watched my family turn into vultures. 20 minutes after we got back from the funeral, my uncle was already asking who got her china cabinet. My cousin was literally measuring my grandma's dining room table to see if it would fit in her apartment. These people who couldn't be bothered to visit her when she was alive were suddenly very interested in her stuff. It got me thinking, did my family actually care about me, or just what I could give them? See, I'd been running this small business selling custom phone cases online. Nothing crazy, just something I started in college that slowly grew. But whenever family came around, nobody ever asked how business was going, unless they needed to borrow some cash. My birthday would come and go without a single text, but suddenly everyone remembered my number when their car broke down or rent was due. After my business really took off last year, I kept quiet about it. While everyone thought I was barely scraping by in my tiny apartment, I was actually making decent money, enough to buy a small house across town. Nothing fancy, just a 2-bedroom place with a decent yard. I didn't tell anyone about the house either. Far as they knew, I was still struggling. That's when I decided to run a little test. I called my Aunt Beverly and mentioned I was thinking about writing a will, asked if she could help me figure out what should happen to my estate if something happened to me. I didn't mention any numbers, just said I had some things worth dividing up. Suddenly, Beverly was my new best friend. She started calling me twice a week to check in. My cousin Tyler, who hadn't texted me back in 3 months, invited me to his kid's birthday party. My uncle Rick, who forgot my name half the time, suddenly wanted to grab lunch and catch up on old times. The attention felt nice at first, until I realized they weren't asking about me. They were asking about my assets. Beverly kept steering conversations toward my apartment, asking if I had any valuable electronics or jewelry. Tyler mentioned how hard it was for young people to afford houses these days, hinting that maybe I should consider leaving someone a down payment. Rick straight up asked if I had a life insurance policy and who the beneficiary was. Then I dropped the real test. I called everyone and told them my business had completely tanked. Said I might have to sell everything just to pay off the debt I'd racked up trying to keep it alive. I even mentioned I might have to move back in with my mom. The change was instant. Beverly stopped calling that same week. Tyler uninvited me from his kid's party, saying it was family only now. Rick never responded to my text asking if we could still do lunch. Within 2 weeks, my phone went completely silent. These people who'd been circling like sharks suddenly couldn't be bothered to even ask if I was okay. But then there was my sister Jenna. She drove 4 hours from her place without me even asking. Showed up at my door with 2 bags of groceries and a bottle of wine. She said she couldn't help much financially, but she wasn't leaving until we figured out a plan together. We spent the whole weekend going through my finances, and she kept saying things like, "You don't owe me anything. You're my brother, not an ATM." That Sunday night, I told her the truth, that the business crash was fake and I just wanted to see who actually cared about me. Jenna started crying, but she was also laughing. She said it hurt to see how selfish our family had become, but she wasn't surprised. 3 months later, I wrote my actual will. Every penny, the house, the business, everything goes to Jenna. The rest of my family can fight over my old PlayStation games.